capital. The Kentucky State High School Athletic Association welcomes you to the 2022 Region 11 District 41 Men's Soccer Championship game. Now let's make the starting lineups for tonight's event.
We like that game so much the first time. Let's do another one. Boys 41st District Soccer Championship coming up here for you in just a bit on the Cable 10 Game of the Week.
First for the visiting team on the scoreboard, the Warhawks from Great Crossing. Junior number 5, Evan Purcell. Senior number 7, Wesley Hope. Junior number 9, Ethan Bell. Junior number 14, James Cron. Senior number 16, Seth Baker. Senior number 17, David Method. Senior number 24, Addison Besher. Senior number 26, Tristan Moore. Junior number 31, Lucas Smith. Sophomore number 35, Carter Dasher. And your goalkeeper, 0, Zach Hendricks. The Warhawks are coached by Coach Nick Maxwell. And now for your Frankfort High School Panthers. A senior number 2, Carter Gilbert. A junior number 6, Jacob Tracy. A senior number 7, Preston Barber. A senior number 10, Ashton Austin. A freshman number 15, Stephon Bebe. A senior number 17, Cody Craycraft. A senior number 22, Ty Hancock. A senior number 23, Tyler Miller. A junior number 24, William Goblin. A senior number 35, Shakur Blondie. And your goalkeeper, a senior number 99, Dawson Pearl. The Panthers are coached by Brad Tippy. The anthem was played before the first game tonight, so we will go right to the lineup.
Call David Toll's Auto Pro for all your automotive needs.
Don't let your car keep you from making important plans. Take it to David Toll's Auto Pro, 515 Duncan Road and 1348 Versailles Road.
We depend on the internet for so much these days, but not all Kentuckians have access to reliable broadband service. That's why Kentucky Farm Bureau joined the just inshore homes and all. Big on
Night has fallen, and it is a perfect night for soccer. And boy, do we have one here for you. Great Crossing taking on the host, Frankfort High, in the 41st District Boys Soccer Championship alongside Chris Cole, biggest Motorhead fan I know. I'm John Piesheimer. Welcome to the Cable 10 Game of
into the district. These two have been a staple of boys championship action on the 41st District. A lot of close games, a lot of battles. Even during the regular season this year here at Sauer Complex, it was a nail biter.
Yeah, and just a lot of talking to a lot of people before the match that, you know, had been there, yourself included. I think we're going to see a really spirited matchup tonight, and a couple of really good teams going after each other.
Well, Frankfort High coming off the All-A state championship, first public school in a while to do that feat. They come so close last year and then able to get a win over Collegiate in the finals just a couple weeks ago here.
And from a broadcaster's perspective, Frankfort wearing all black with white letters, Great Crossing wearing all white with black letters. Both of those have a special place in my heart for the ability to sheerly read the numbers.
Yeah, it makes it easy for us to do our job.
Yeah, and isn't that the end goal for everybody?
Yeah, as long as the broadcasters can do their job easy, that's all that matters.
Both teams just kind of testing each other out in the first minute.
Great Crossing foul right in
Great Crossing commits a foul right at midfield. That one's going to be on, I believe, number. Just trying to pick out the number of Great Crossing. Number 10, Caleb Barnes. That is a number I didn't see on my starting lineup. Nice ball in, and that is headed out. Zach Hendricks, the goalkeeper, giving a little love to his back line there for clearing the danger. I think he would have been a little late to that if he'd come out for it, as we take a look at number 35 for Frankfort County. That was Shiporkwandi committing the foul there.
Chef, as
Chef.
the boys like to call him.
Yeah.
Foul on the Panthers.
Well, with my last name being pronounced P-Simer and being spelled P-S-I-M-E-R, you can only imagine the variations on that I heard. So,
especially growing up in Lincoln County.
Yeah, exactly. None of us leave school unscathed. So, there's a free kick for Great Crossing. Nice distance on that. Having to come get that is Dawson Pearl. Great Crossing player really interested in that.
Collected by the keeper,
Moving on to
Pearl.
it. Dawson Pearl grabs it.
And you know, John, with the temperature dropping as the sun went down, ball could do some funny things tonight that these players aren't used to. This is probably the coolest weather these young men have played in all season.
Yeah, and it's that time of year where you get days that are still in the 70, creeping into the 80-degree mark, but at night you drop down well into the 50s.
And down here on the river, you might as well take 2 or 3 degrees off of it as well. So,
but for both of these teams also, in their opening games, both of them were playing a kind of style that I think would play into being able to deal with that well, because, you know, they like to do a little passing move, they like to possess, and a lot of similarities you can draw style-wise between these two teams. That's why it's such an interesting matchup.
their first matchup of the season went to OT. Crossing really controlled most of the game. Was up 1-0 till a late goal with about 1:20 in regulation. Then within about another 15-20 seconds, there was a red card on Crossing. So when they went to OT, Crossing was playing a man down, and Chef, I believe, was able to get the golden goal for the Panthers right away, taking advantage of the man down.
Yeah, if you missed the game that we had between Great Crossing and Western Hills in the 2-3 game on Tuesday night here in the boys tournament, you missed a good one. That was a really fun game to call, a fun game to watch.
Free kick Panthers.
Western Hills fighting hard, unfortunately for them, conceding a goal late, and Great Crossing. Good value for money for the goal, too. It was a great goal off of a free kick, a deflected header, putting it into the path of Paul Redmond, a senior for the Great Crossing, who scored the winning goal in that match. Great Crossing coming in here with a record of 11-5-1 on the season, 2-1 during the regular season. In 41st District play, we already mentioned one loss coming here on this very field to Frankfort. 4-4 in the 11th region. Coming over to Frankfort High, 16-3-2 after their win on Monday night. undefeated in the district and the region. Just a fantastic season for Franklin County, or excuse me, for the Franklin County sports in general, with Frankfort High doing so well, especially from the standpoint of, you know, everybody here in town. As you mentioned, Frankfort High taking the All-A Classic. It's a fantastic achievement, as you alluded to, for a public school to take that
because
crown.
you get so many private schools in that A class, your Kentucky Country Days, your Louisville Collegiate, your Bethlehems, your, you know, your LCAs, which, you know, I still don't see how some of them are considered 1A with the size they are, but you know, we'll take the win.
Hits a great crossing defender, and it looked like it hit the captain for great crossing in the shoulder, and it's a good thing because I think that ball was going to find the back of the net.
Yeah, Frankfort High in a great position.
Crossing, I should say.
Yeah, Frankfort High in a great position to turn on one there. Just unlucky really to capitalize on that.
Yeah, we've seen over the last couple of minutes, we've seen Frankfort High kind of just start to work into their game plan and start to get a little bit more possession. That's what they do. They press well. They press well when they don't have the ball, and they are so very confident in doing just what they're doing right now, letting great crossing come after them, playing a little possession, you know, just kind of working their way incrementally up the field, not feeling like they have to just put their foot through the ball and try to find somebody over, you know, kind of bypass the midfield. And there you see Dawson Pearl. That's something that also takes a little bit of confidence for your goalkeeper. Is leaving that pass short was number 7 for Franklin County, Preston Barber. Here comes great crossing. Oh, that through ball was a good idea. Just did not get through there for Caleb Barnes. And nice job there by great crossing to come back onto that. Still alive. There's the pass in for Ethan Bell. Unable to get to that one. Nice bit of defending there by Frankfort High. Finds its way into the hands of Dawson Pearl there in the Frankfort High goal. That was a, I would say, unconventional approach to that on the part of William Coblin, but crude but effective.
It works. Yeah, this Frankfort High program
and offside flag comes up that time.
Had 4 players go on to play college soccer last year. Ethan Vermillion playing D1 at IUPUI up in Indiana, along with Adam Gritton at Sullivan in Louisville. Barber's older brother at Transy. So a little rebuilding this year, but you couldn't tell it. And you know, a lot of these young men that are seniors, all 12 of them, being looked at playing the next level. I know for a fact a couple of them have taken visits to, you know, some D2, D3 schools. A lot of NAIA schools looking, and that's a testament to Coach Kennedy and his staff for a small 1A school to have that many players being looked at consecutive years.
Yeah, that tells me that your school is on the mind of scouts for repeated success, and the word is out that you know how to put out good players out of this program. So take a look at Zach Hendricks there. He had 5 saves, some big ones late for a great crossing in that first round win over Western Hills. And got to give a shout out to some of the players from Western Hills. Well, all the players that played in that game. Some of the, you know, there was Daniel Zalea, who just dominated the midfield. He might have been the player of the game out of both sides. Just really impressive in defeat performance by the Wolverines in that match. And really, I think it could have justifiably been either one of these teams taking on Frankfort tonight. And I think you probably see just as good of a match. But great crossing, able to notch one late. Frankfort High trying to work quickly here.
And Frankfort High does that. They really try to pressure the offensive side of the field when it's there, but they can be very patient as well.
They have a lot of players I've noticed just based on Monday night tonight. They have a lot of players that have that dangerous ability that you have in all sports, but I think especially in soccer, when you have possession with the ball, your ability to change pace at the drop of a hat. And that's the thing that really just kind of opens up so much of the field for you, makes you so hard to defend. That ability to just kind of, you can almost like a quarterback, check down where your options are, and if you feel like you can make a run, just turn it on just like that. You kind of see an example of that right there. Nice through ball. There's Preston Barber. Can't really get his foot behind that one. The angle wasn't quite right for him that time, but a nice play by Frankfort High, showing some signs of getting into the attack here.
And I feel like in the first 12 minutes of this, it's Frankfort High has controlled the pace.
Yeah.
Exact opposite of what we saw in the regular season meeting. Frankfort High was a little flat that night offensively, but able to get one playing till that final whistle, and that's how they come out with a victory, and it really set up them for success going into the Capital City Classic, which is 2 more district games. They had a tough game with Western Hills for the championship of that one, but they're able to win the close ones, and that's toughness.
Yeah, that's the sign of a good team, being able to pull out a win when you're not really playing at your best. Everything's not in sync, but just being able to kind of gut it out. Just had a look earlier there at the Frankfort High bench and Brad Kennedy, who's been really the one who's just set this in motion for this Frankfort High program. We got a good crowd here tonight, too. A lot of people made the trip over from Great Crossing, and we've got a lot of people here from Frankfort High and a lot of people who just stuck around just to see this, I think, because they knew this was going to be quite a feast for the eyes, this game.
Yeah, these two teams, when they get together, it's a battle. I mean, it's usually close. It usually comes down to the end. Last 4 or 5 minutes of a game. I think about the district championship a couple years ago with Reed McClavick and that group for Frankfort High. But, yeah, good crowd, especially with the Frankfort schools being on fall break.
Yeah.
A lot of teams, or a lot of people gone on vacation.
A lot of teams down players.
Yeah, we saw that on the girls' side in the tournament this week.
Chef Glandi up a little bit slow on that after that collision. Looks like he's just kind of trying to run it off there. This will be a throw in for the Warhawks. As you see there, Stefan Bebe, who had a great goal in that first game in the first half. We've got a timeout here. I believe they're gonna maybe bring a trainer on. I think I see a trainer coming on for somebody. No, maybe I'm looking out the door instead of looking at my monitor. It's not the smartest thing.
It looks like they're taking Chef off the field.
Yeah, I think you just might have just wanted to make sure everything's okay with him. Did not see the player that was coming in.
And that's Bryson Cox, number 9, who had a goal the other night for the Panthers.
As you see the Panther bench there. just a little back and forth tete-a-tete here between the two teams. And I think Great Crossing maybe started out a little bit more aggressive of the two teams for Frankfort High ever since about the 3 or 4 minute mark here in the first half. Have really kind of been in control of the possession, and Great Crossing has had to do a lot of defending.
Yeah, Frankfort High really going at Crossing early.
Nice job there. Bring the ball down and getting Frankfort High into attack.
Kobe Craycraft really controlling the middle of the field.
Craycraft with a nice job. Almost got free. Still has possession. Great work right there. Nice job coming in. I believe that was William Coblin getting a foot to it. And a little heavy touch there. And Frankfort High just holding on to possession by a thread, but they still have it. Doing a nice job moving this Great Crossing midfield all the way across the field. That one was lofted up. That was Tyler Miller trying to bring it under control, but that'll be wrapped up by Zach Hendricks.
I got a little inside info that
let's hear it.
Coach Kennedy had switched to a 4-3-3 tonight for this game to put a little more pressure up front on the offensive side than he had been playing this year. And I think that probably goes back to the way Frankfort High came out in the first game against Great Crossing.
Yeah, that allows you to spread the field a little more, get you a little bit wider, especially up front.
And that's really trusting your back line, too. Instead of having 4 defenders back here, you go to 3, which is able to move you a guy either from that sweeper position up to a midfielder, a little stronger attack.
Yeah, you've got a lot more work being done by those 3 guys in the midfield, because they're having to do a lot, because you know, and of course the shape flex, you have a little bit of flexibility. It will tend to kind of bend back and forth. You have players kind of working between the lines a little bit more, but you're also, creating space, and you're giving yourself a lot more options in attack. Here comes Great Crossing. Nice job of holding on to it, and they're going to get a foul call. I believe that was outside the box. Or is he pointing at the spot?
Just outside the box.
Yeah, that's. And coming in late, picking up the foul that time, it looked like it might have been number 7, Barber. Or number 6, I believe it was, for Frankfort High.
Jacob Tracy, the junior.
Just coming in a little bit late. He had a little bit of momentum, and then the play kind of came to a stop. So Great Crossing will have a free kick here just outside the box on the left-hand side. Dawson Pearl has set up his wall here. That takes a deflection and goes just wide. That could have gone anywhere, really, but the wall that time did its job.
Yeah, and I mean, if that comes off in a different angle, that may have squeezed inside that upright.
Yeah. But also, I think that's what a goalkeeper does correctly, and actually it was coming out of the wall that time was Coblin, and just managed to guide it out. As Great Crossing gets a throw out of it. Nice save by Pearl. The rebound shot is good. Great Crossing getting on first, and that is number 16 for Great Crossing. Scoring first tonight, Seth Baker with the follow shot, the captain for Great Crossing. Off of that free kick, Dawson Pearl had to make a save. Batted it away. Free kick kind of brought the ball in to the side of the field where Great Crossing was still threatening the Frankfort High goal. Take a look at it here. just keeping the ball alive. That was number 26 right there, Tristan Morin, who took the initial shot. Dawson Pearl tried to save it, got both of his hands to it, but just could not recover in time. And great crossing is up, just like they were in the first game.
Yeah, this time they hadn't controlled much of the offensive side of the field, able to get the ball down on their side of the field. Tight situation there off the free kick, and able to luckily get one in off a rebound. And we saw Crossing do that on the girls' side in the first game tonight. And you teach that early, crash the goal, because a lot of times that rebound is a lot harder to recover as a keeper than the initial shot.
And if you're Frankfort High, you're just kind of asking, you know, where were our guys right there? And this is one thing we haven't seen in this tournament in, well, at least 2 years now. We have not seen Frankfort High playing from behind. That's going to be a free kick for great crossing.
Yeah,
number 22, they're tied in.
Unlucky right there. Hancock going in to try to take the ball away on the tackle, and just his hand was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
See here on the replay, some hands going between Ty Hancock and the great crossing player as well. His name I didn't catch. And it's been physical so far, no shortage of that. It'll be interesting to me to see how Frankfort High kind of handles this, because, you know, for 15 of the 20 minutes we've had so far, they were really running the show, controlling everything, and then all of a sudden you give up a goal almost out of nowhere. And it'll be interesting to see if their attitude shifts, at the, you know, the response that they have here, as that one is lofted up, and Dawson Pearl manages to grab that one. Nice bit of goalkeeping.
Yeah, good job that time by Pearl going up for that one.
Yeah, that's a dangerous ball right there, and it was a good run really by the goal scorer from earlier, Seth Baker. Shot from distance, almost sinks in there. Ty Hancock taking a rip from midfield and nearly got the dip on that. I think Zach Hendricks would have at least gotten a hand to it had it dropped, but Frankfort High taking a shot from distance.
And you don't mind that as a coach. You made a good play to get open. Really wasn't forced. Good opportunity there, just went high.
Visions of Bailey Spade on the field just adjacent from us from a few years back. For any longtime viewers of soccer here on the Cable 10 Game of the Week, one of the many incredible moments, and the only one to my knowledge that went viral. So free kick comes in. That was Carter Gilbert playing in that free kick. And great crossing. Pushes it out. And before we get this throw, we're going to get a couple substitutions in here. Want to take a second to thank our sponsors, David Tolles Auto Pro. Thank you to David Tolles Auto Pro, and also J.O. Osborne with the Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Thanks for helping us bring you all the action here on the Cable 10 Game of the Week. On this tournament, Frankfort High threatening here. Ball could go anywhere. Great crossing, just managing to get it out. Now Frankfort High on the attack again. Here's Hancock with it.
Yeah, and I've noticed that in a few games this year. Coach Kennedy will bring Carter Gilbert up from the D line to take the throw when they're on the offensive side, because he has such the strength to get it. It's almost like a corner kick, his throw in from the side. And you saw it really put Frankfort High in a good position, almost like a rebound off of a corner kick.
You know, we saw that also with the girls in the girls game between Franklin County and Western Hills with Mo Wells. She has that same ability, and it's that ability to not only throw it far, but throw it far and in a place where your attacker can get to it on a path towards the goal. And in space where they're really putting the defender under some pressure. Here's a foot race to this one, and winning that race for Franklin County is, I think that was Jacob Tracy.
It was. Jacob has come on a lot, really well this year for Coach Kennedy and the Panthers. One of the few junior players that is in the rotation, because you got 12 seniors, the leaders of this team.
Wild shot that time from midfield, and that'll be a goal kick.
Sometimes, now John, I didn't play, sometimes do you kick it out like that to kind of catch your breath for a second?
There are a lot of the things, and some people will call them the dark arts. I just call it being crafty. You know, you'll see a lot of people, I don't know that kicking out is part of it, but I'm sure it's all part of it. You know, maybe kicking the ball out, maybe if you go to the ground, maybe just staying down a little bit longer just to kind of buy yourself a little bit of time to breathe.
Kind of like in a 2-minute offense,
exactly.
A lineman getting a cramp.
Yeah. And you'll see that a few times, and we have the benefit here in high school soccer of not having, you know, in the professional leagues you have added time, which is, you know, I like the fact that they do it like they do, because I like that at the end of a game, if a team's attacking, you don't have this situation where they blow the whistle right as you're in the middle of an attack. I like that they allow the flow to continue, and they put on time so that there's no benefit gained to a team that might be ahead to wasting time during the game. But you always, towards the end of a game, you still get these teams kind of doing these little things to just kill a little bit of time. If you're behind, if you're ahead, just kill a little bit of that extra time off just to...
Like parking the bus and kicking it out of bounds?
Parking the bus, kicking it out of bounds. You see a lot of cramps on mid-temperature days, a lot of injuries that are magically recovered from the second that play stops. Just kind of there are certain terms for that aren't television safe, we'll put it that way, but there is that element to the game. But what I'm saying is, like, in high school sports, or in high school soccer specifically, you have that running clock, so you don't have that, which is, I think, you know, at this level is definitely, like, that definitely keeps a lot of things. We have a collision right there, Dawson Pearl and Jacob Tracy, and they both seem to be all right.
Yeah, and that was dangerous, not only for player safety, but for Frankfort. If the Great Crossing players able to control that, your keeper's out at the top of the box on the ground.
And it might have been one of those where Pearl was calling for the ball, but I think Tracy might have been just too far gone at that point to pull it back. And I believe we're going to have a foul here, or I didn't see the flag, so. Dawson Pearl stands over this one. And nice take that time in the midfield. That is number 17 for Franklin County, Colby Craycraft. Nice job of taking it, controlling it in the midfield and distributing it. There's the layoff. Hancock unable to keep control of that.
Another deep possession for Frankfort High.
I think the important thing here for Frankfort High is you're doing the right thing. You know, you're down a goal, but you know, it's not time to let frustration sink in. It just, you know, it's not coming off for you quite yet, but if you keep doing things like this is a fantastic through ball here for Hancock. And I think he just slipped up a little bit and kind of got away from him with the roll.
Well, you probably got a little dew starting to set on the field. Ball's starting to get a little slick, probably. You know, I always talk to my kids when I was coaching, if it was a night game or any type of wet conditions, that ball's going to do funny things. And especially in cooler temperatures where the ball's been in warmer temperature all day, and then, you know, the temp has dropped probably 20 degrees since we got down here today. So
yeah, and like you said, you have the dew setting in, and it's really a fun thing to play in because, you know, the conditions are constantly changing, and I know a lot of players love playing in the wet just because the ball runs, when the field's just like this, because the ball, it runs a little longer on those 3 balls, it moves a little faster, and that again gets into that thing we alluded to in game 1 of tonight's doubleheader of just playing on a grass field like this, especially in the conditions that we have. It's just a lot of fun because there's the element of nature having an influence.
I think the refs might have missed a call there. I believe it went off the crossing player. But.
And one thing that is, we've got a corner here for great crossing. One thing that we had noticed, in my partner for the first 2 nights, David Daly, who we definitely hope is convalescing well. Sorry he couldn't be here, but I'm certainly glad to have you here, Chris. One thing that we had noticed is that we hadn't really noticed the officials. They had been whistle to whistle. This had been a very well officiated tournament, and the officials really hadn't
made it about them.
Made it about them or had any influence besides just making the right call. That one bangs around a little bit in the box, but Dawson Pearl gets a hold of it, and he wants to give Frankfort, he wants to get them started quickly.
You got a lot of speed on that right side of the field. Frankfort's right side with Chef and Bebe.
Bebe was really impressive in the first night against Franklin County. That ball is laid up, that's Alex Gonzalez who tried to bring it down. That'll be a corner for Frankfort High. Going over to take that, it's going to be Tyler Miller, senior, who had a goal, one of several Panthers who had a goal.
And Tyler's very dangerous from corner. I have seen him bend them in.
Coming to that, almost getting his head to it, was William Coblin, number 24, coming in. Frankfort High's going to get another chance at it. Going up to take that, almost getting to it there was number, I think that was number 20 coming into the game. Let's take a look at the replay here. That'll confirm it. That was number 10 actually coming in.
Ashton Austin.
Ashton Austin. 7:45 left in this first half. Great crossing up 1-0 on a goal by Seth Baker off of a rebound from a shot from distance by Tristan Morin. That is the difference so far. It's great crossing so far, kind of seeing off Frankfort High's attempts to even up the score. I think that might have been a little example of what you were talking about with the air and the ball. It just kind of got up there and died.
Yeah, and there's not a whole lot of breeze. It's just that river air. It's cool. Ball's not going to fly as far as it would in daytime in the heat.
It's not flying as far as it normally would, but because the pitch is just a little bit dewy, it's moving a lot faster there. So really interesting as you see Dawson Pearl, goalkeeper for Frankfort High. Frankfort High, of course, coming in off of a win 6-1 over Franklin County on Monday night. We had here a couple of nights ago, great crossing, victorious 2-1 to set up this game, and now great crossing. back out to the right wing. Working over on that side was Tyler Miller, and he draws the foul. We're under the 5-minute mark, and I know David Daly couldn't be here tonight, but this is his 5-minute point where he says the highest percentage of goals are scored in the first and the last 5 minutes of any given half. So we're in Daly time.
Looks like Craig Kraft is going to take the free kick.
Lining up all the way next to the bench there. It's a nice one. Takes a strange bounce. Hancock tries to play it back across, and he'll get a corner. To see Ty Hancock, the senior, he had a goal in the first half on Monday night.
Kicker for the football team as well.
Just under 4 minutes left. There's a low cross coming in, a lot of pace behind that one. Struggling to get that out from his feet at first was the great crossing defender. And the ball finds its way back to Dawson Pearl, who just boots it between the benches.
And I think that is it 31, Lucas Smith?
Yeah, Lucas Smith, he had an eventful night a couple of nights ago. He had 2 assists and also conceded the penalty that allowed Western Hills to get on the board. And really on that penalty, it's kind of one of those things, as a shot from distance goes up, that's well wide. One of those things where it was Daniel Zalea for Western Hills who drew the penalty, and he was on the very corner of the 18-yard box facing away from goal. We've got about 2.5 minutes left here in this first half. It's a dangerous ball there as Lucas Smith was threatening to run onto that one. They have moved Lucas Smith up to a more forward position here, Great Crossing has.
Maybe
nice
to counter
touch.
the speed of Frankfort High.
That was a nice touch there by Jacob Tracy on the right side to get away from the defender. Give himself some time and space on the ball. And a nice job there by Great Crossing. I think Baby's going to get a little bit of a talking to for that one. I don't see a card coming out, but it's pretty clear foul from where we're sitting.
Yeah, when player's got his back to the defender and kind of gets spun around, usually he's got an assist.
Yeah. And this one going against William Coblin as he gets into the back of Lucas Smith, and that'll be a free kick for Great Crossing at a place where they've shown some danger of being able to score and being able to produce something to threaten the goal here. It's going to be number 4, Paul Redmond, who scored the go-ahead goal that eventually ended up being the game-winning goal for Great Crossing back on Tuesday night. Dawson Pearl shouting some instructions and trying to place his ball where he'd like it. The main thing you're trying to accomplish is having them cover the angle that you can't cover, because you can only be in one place at a time.
That went wide.
Let's take a look at this again. Lucas Smith getting in there, and Coblin. I think it was one of those where he wasn't trying to foul him, but probably wasn't all that concerned if he did. So there's Craycraft playing it out wide. Frankfort High attacking down the right side now. Nice long ball there towards the center of the park. Frankfort High, 10 seconds here to get something on the scoreboard before halftime. That handball, I believe, is going to ensure that we go into this first half with Franklin County looking up at Great Crossing on the scoreboard. 1-0, a Seth Baker goal between these two teams here in the 41st District Boys Soccer Championship. Stay with us. We'll have highlights for you here on the Cable 10 Game of the Week.
Game of the Week is brought to you by David Tolles Auto Pro. You're in good hands with David Tolles Auto Pro. Bring your vehicle to us for the best repairs in the Frankfort area. 2 locations at 1348 Versailles Road and 515 Duncan Road. And check us out at davidtollsautopro.com.
Game of the Week is brought to you by J.O. Osborne with the Franklin County Farm Bureau. The Franklin County Farm Bureau's J.O. Osborne wishes all of our local teams a healthy, competitive, and successful season. J.O. and Kentucky Farm Bureau have been insuring Frankfort since 1943. With them on your team, when you experience a loss from an accident or storm, it can be a real game changer.
Welcome back to Sauer Soccer Field. It's halftime here in the 41st District Boys Soccer Championship. Great Crossing up 1-0 on Frankfort High, as you see all the faithful fans of both of these schools showing up on what has been a great night of soccer, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, we got underway with the girls' championship game between Franklin County and Great Crossing. Great Crossing able to win their second straight 41st District, but no love lost between these two boys programs, as it's really been their show the last couple years in the 41st District. And as you can see right here, Crossing able to put one in on a rebound off of a free kick down on their end of the field, and that's really been it.
Yeah, and I think after losing 5-0 to this Frankfort High team last year, you could tell that one meant a little bit more to Great Crossing to knock one in here in the championship game. 1-0 your score. Great Crossing on top of Frankfort High. We'll see if the Panthers can do anything about it in the second half. Stay with us here on the Cable 10 Game of the Week.
Game of the Week halftime show is brought to you by Classic Gold. Art-carved class rings are available at Classic Gold Master Jewelers on 859 East Main Street.
Classic Gold Master Jewelers has an amazing selection of jewelry that anyone will love. Classic Gold also provides custom services like pearl restringing, engraving, watch repair, ring resizing, and custom designs. Classic Gold Master Jewelers, 859 East Main Street.
In today's fast-paced housing market, you need realtors with experience who understand that timing is essential when finding the perfect home for the right price. Tim and Rebecca Hubbard with Exit Realty Crutcher are here to ensure that you and your family have a positive experience from start to finish.
Real estate is what we do,
and families are why we do it.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Tim and Rebecca Hubbard with Exit Realty Crutcher. Choose local realtors that treat you like family, because real estate is what we do and families are why we do it.
If your property has trees, you know they add beauty and value, but they also have the potential to do serious damage. That's where the team of pros at Estate Tree Service come in. From trimming and shaping to complete removal, including stumps. The team at Estate Tree Service gets the job done, even in an emergency. Estate Tree Service has been the area's premier tree service since 1957, and our long list of satisfied clients can tell you why. The name you know and trust. Estate Tree Service.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Estate Tree Service. We have a solution for all your tree care needs. Estate Tree Service provides expert tree care and preservation. Call 502-229-5258 for a free estimate.
Bob Allen is
Kentucky's Dealmaker. Shop Bob Allen of Frankfort for a winning selection of new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, as well as quality late model pre-owned.
Click and save
at BobAllenFrankfort.com.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Bob Allen. Bob Allen is Frankfort's Dealmaker. Visit Bob Allen's new state-of-the-art showroom at 925 Versailles Road and discover Central Kentucky's best selection of new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram models, as well as pre-owned. Shop BobAllenFrankfort.com.
In 2020, with COVID-19, we had a state mandate shutdown. We relied upon Traditional Bank for their advice and guidance in obtaining the PPP loan. I can appreciate that Traditional Bank is still locally owned. We choose them for health savings accounts. We choose them for any business loan that we need. My name is Dr. Todd Jacobs of Helderman and Jacobs Vision Center. I choose Traditional Bank because they value personal relationships and are highly invested in our community.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Traditional Bank. When your business is looking to win, with tough competition around every corner, you need high performers backing you up. Traditional Bank's local team will stand by your side as a trusted partner, your friendly neighbor, and your biggest fan. It's time to make the switch. Traditional Bank, member FDIC.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Whitehead Hancock. Whitehead Hancock Plumbing has been serving Frankfort families for more than 100 years. You can trust Whitehead Hancock for all your plumbing, heating, cooling, and septic needs. Call them today at 502-227-2213 for 24-hour emergency service or visit their website at whiteheadhancock.com.
FPB knows reliable internet is more important than ever. It lets us work from home, share life with family and friends, and make vital connections online. To help, qualifying customers can now access the new Affordable Connectivity Program and step up to fast, reliable FPB internet at a savings of up to $30 per month. Learn more about this new opportunity. Visit FPB online today.
We flip fields here, and the second half is about to start as we've got some Frankfort High fans tossing some shirts into the crowd, and the festive atmosphere here continues as we are in half number 2 of the boys 41st District Soccer Championship alongside Chris Cole and in the entire motley crew here at Cable 10. I'm John Piesheimer. We're happy to bring you all this action here on Cable 10 that we've had, and it was an interesting first half, Chris. It was one of those where I think the score on the scoreboard doesn't really reflect kind of the momentum and the amount of possession and the flow of the game.
Yeah, Frankfort High really controlled probably 85-90% of the possessions in that first half, but Great Crossing able to capitalize on one of their few possessions down on the offensive end. Had a free kick, then it went out, had a corner kick, and it bounced around. Great Crossing able to recover, turned it, and off a rebound, able to put it in.
And that one falls back into the path of Bebe. He just can't get turned around on it. And now Great Crossing will come back in. Tristan Morin, who took that shot that resulted in the goal, has it taken away from him by Bebe, who was kind of leaning in to get a little bit of traction there and earned himself a corner.
Yeah, Coach Kennedy started the second half with a 3-5-2 formation, moving another player up on that offensive side.
That one tipped out by Zach Hendricks. That was a really tricky ball. It was right on the goal line. Almost looked like it was going to take a deflection off of the crossbar. That'll be a throw for Frankfort High right next to their own bench. And a bit of a collision and foul called as a rip comes from outside of the box by Preston Barber that glances off of the crossbar just to keep everybody awake.
Yeah, it looks like Great Crossing coming out of the break, little lost on where they're at on the field, little lack of communication. Frankfort High, unfortunate, couldn't get one in through one of those possessions.
That was Ethan Bell, number 9. And has it taken away. Nice pursuit there. I believe that's Ty Hancock on the left side. He's still after it. Ty Hancock and Stephen Bebe still working really hard for it. The throw will go to Great Crossing, but you said it, Chris. Frankfort High definitely the more aggressive of the two teams. Is the official just going to have a talk with Stephen Bebe over there. And Ty Hancock, maybe emotions threatening to get a little bit of out of hand and just wants to kind of clear everything up to start out. That's good officiating right there.
Yeah, because everybody knows the history these two teams have.
Stopping a problem before it starts, or at least attempting to. Throw comes in. I believe that was Carter Gilbert with the long throw. As you mentioned, that's something he's quite good at. Ball finds its way free. There's Craycraft. Takes a shot from distance that bounces off of a Warhawk. There's another shot. Almost hits the post. Almost sneaks in the right side. Great effort from outside the box. I believe that was Ty Hancock. Let's take a look at this. Now Hancock actually laid it off, and that was coming in Preston Barber with the near goal from outside. And that would have been definite highlight stuff right there as Great Crossing coming back over. And Chris, you had mentioned it earlier, they seem to be a little out of sorts right now.
Yeah, you feel like that, I don't know if they're trying something different, but, you know, Frankfort High really controlled the first half. You feel like that they're doing it again. But you got to know that, too, in the back of Great Crossing's mind is we controlled 90% of that game the first time against these guys, and they were able to sneak one in late on us during the regular season.
Yeah, and I think maybe Frankfort High would like to make this a less close affair than it was. But first, you got to get it on the scoreboard. Great Crossing still a little bit out of sorts. You can tell passes are just kind of going out. That one happened to find somebody in space. But just long passes that aren't really going to their intended targets. And then you've got players on the defensive end, it seems like, that are really, you've got multiple players that are trying to occupy the same space and do the same job, and that's kind of the sign of a team that might not all be on the same page.
Well, and this 3-5-2 may be with, you know, the more pressure up top, could be causing a little confusion of where they're supposed to be on the side, on their defensive side.
One thing about Frankfort High, too, they've got a lot of strength just physically in all those positions, especially in the midfield, able to win the ball back really well. Here comes Great Crossing. This is Ethan Bell. Nice lay forward. That is Seth Baker. He's open on goal. Fantastic save by Dawson Pearl. Will Baker get another shot at it? He's trying to set it up, and that one is a goal scored by Tristan Morin with the right foot. Great Crossing doubles their score and doubles their lead over Frankfort High. The ball just spilled around the front of the goal, and Frankfort High really could never get their foot back behind it. Tristan Morin doing the flip, the freshman, with an assist and a goal tonight. Maybe not an assist, but he's the biggest reason that they scored that goal in the first half, and he puts that one in off of the rebound from a Seth Baker shot. So those two combining again. Actually, Seth Baker with the assist that time, laying it out for him. So Seth Baker with a goal and assist. Great Crossing up 2-0, and whole complexity of this just changed, and it's such a mirror image of what we saw in the first half, Chris.
Yeah, Frankfort High controlling the game with their offense, but Great Crossing able to just sneak around and able to just pick their way through, and really, I don't want to call them junk goals, but
opportunistic,
yes.
Put it that way. But, you know, and David and I talked about this a couple of nights ago. Garbage goals require skill to be in the right place at the right time, and it's not something that is just kind of it's not accidental. It's you're picking up the rebound, you're picking up something that somebody else has spilled, hence the term. But it is something that is taught at a basic level. You mentioned it earlier, crashing the goal when someone takes a shot from outside, or just being in a position where if the ball falls to you or the keeper doesn't manage to wrap it up, that you're in a position where you can take advantage of that. Here's Frankfort on the other end. They've got a lot of work to do now. And Hendricks way out of his goal to get this one. Big collision over on the right side. That's going to be a throw-in for Great Crossing. And that was a big collision over there. Hendricks really, really taking a gutsy move over there to go all the way out, almost out of bounds after that one. I think once he was out, he had to go for it.
Yeah, and now you're going to find out what Frankfort High is made of. They've played out front for majority of the season. You got to dig deep here. You know that you've controlled the game for the most part.
Yeah, you know they want to win this on their home turf, and they don't want to drop one to Great Crossing now that this rivalry is what it is. Ball comes in and over the head of, I believe that was William Coplin going up for it.
And you don't want to be that 2 seed having to go in the region and play.
Even for a team as tough as Frankfort High, you don't want to be one and done. You don't want to face a team that's really going to take you to the limit. Not only because it's going to be a tough game, but if you win it, you just played one of the toughest games you're going to have the whole tournament, and then you got to turn around and burn it up again.
Yeah, and you're looking right now, the way things stand, you've got Madison Southern's a 1 seed. We know Dunbar's a 1 seed. Douglas was up on station 2-0 at the half. They're probably on their way to be a 1 seed. And in the 11th region, I think I read somewhere this week that there's 4 or 5 teams out of the 11th region that's in the top 25 in the state.
Wouldn't surprise me. Craycraft just trying to play that one over the top into the box, but Zach Hendricks able to get that one with a lot less effort than he put in the last time. And now, if you're Brad Kennedy, what are you telling this team from the sideline, Chris?
Just play with composure. You're playing well. You just, you know, you're inches away.
We'll get a corner here.
I mean, Miller off of a rebound, a deflected pass. You know, the great crossing defender right at the last minute gets a foot on that. Or, you know, that's a great look for Miller right there.
Miller going way almost to the bottom of the hill to put this one in. Goes far post, and climbing over the top and getting the foul call there is Frankfort High.
Yeah, a game like this, rivalry game, district championship, emotions running high. Refs have done a pretty good job, I think, controlling this for the most part.
Yeah, and I think that little conversation that we saw is maybe, you know, that's some good officiating, because you're kind of setting the ground rules of what you're going to put up with and trying to get in front of any issues. Is that shot from distance goes wide from Stefan Bebe. And that's one thing, I think Frankfort High may look towards doing. We didn't see a lot of shots from outside the box in the first half. You know, they have done a lot, and they've managed to get the ball in a lot of threatening positions, but they really haven't tested Zach Hendricks a lot in that great crossing goal.
No, and you feel like there's 28 minutes to go in this, and that's a lot of time. But you feel like that Frankfort High is...
And that one's going to sneak in. Wonderful goal there by Preston Barber, and they get one back as Zach Hendricks makes a mistake alongside his line. Frankfort High having the lead of great crossing, and that's a fantastic goal there by Preston Barber. What a finish. That is his 3rd goal of the tournament. Let's take a look at the replay here. I think it just took everybody by surprise. The defender fell down. Nothing that Preston Barber did wrong, and I think Zach Hendricks may have been looking for the call there that didn't come.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think they thought there was going to be a whistle blown. There wasn't, and
I didn't see a foul.
He took his eye off the ball.
Now this is getting a little bit different. This is the plot thickens. And that is exactly the response you want if you're Brad Kennedy. And Zach Hendricks feeling a little worse for wear there. But I think that's probably what happened. And honestly, from our angle, I didn't see much wrong with that at all.
No, both players jockeying for position to go after the ball.
Yeah, it looked like, if anything, the defender just slipped a little bit.
And another, natural playing surface.
So 2-1 your score. Great cross now, but Frankfort High finally getting a little bit of momentum. And yeah, to me, there's nothing in that. You know, that's just two, like you said, two guys jockeying for position. I think he's got the right to kind of protect his space. I didn't really see the arm extended to a point where it was like a stiff arm or something. We're not looking at Barry Sanders over there. So I think we've got a new keeper coming in. That is Benjamin Farrell, the senior, coming in for Zach Hendricks, the sophomore, and that's a pretty nice luxury to have a senior as your backup goalkeeper.
Yeah, and right before Frankfort High scored that, I felt like they had started pressing a little bit.
Maybe just kind of overdoing it a little bit,
yeah,
not staying within themselves.
But now, new life in the Panthers.
Yeah, and that's so huge because you know, if you give up a goal like that and you go down 2-0 at that point in the game, you know, that can just, the longer it goes, the more it seems like that's just a lead you can't get back. So to score that quickly after giving up the goal is so huge for Frankfort High. And it looks like they're going to have a corner out of this. Barber sets it up, and it looks like that's going to be number 20. I think that's Miller coming in to take the corner. He's taking the corners on both sides. This one gonna hook in with the right foot. Plays it in about the same place. That's a nice job by the backup keeper to get a big paw to it and knock it out. And great crossing. That's Ethan Bell, I believe, who stayed with. Playing it forward for Barber. On the near side, there is a Panther.
You know, not a whole lot of games on the natural surface.
I'll tell you what, Preston Barber is giving great cross. There's something in there. We got a stoppage of play here. The great crossing bench getting a little talking to there. The coach. And give you a little talking to like that.
Yeah. A few times.
Yep.
I did get ejected from a football game.
Where was that? Wander lonely around downtown Eminence by yourself.
Yeah, my coach wasn't real. Did.
Here comes the throw in. Frankfort High looking to get back on the they might just be trying to hold on here. If you look at Caleb Barnes, number 10 for Great Crossing, and there is Tristan Morin, who scored goal number 2 for Great Crossing.
And Barnes is one of those players, it won't show on the stat sheet, but he's kind of one of those picky players, kind of like one of those pesky bugs.
Well, he's a number 10 through and through, and there's a reason that certain players are given that number. It's because they're really kind of the straw that's kind of their role out there. They're kind of the field general. In a way, they're the quarterback, but they don't, a lot of them don't get necessarily the attention or love that the quarterback gets, but that's really their role. And
yeah, foot came up on the throw in that time. Legal throw, turnover to Frankfort High.
And a shot from distance, and that one's going to go wide.
The shot wide. Warhol goal kick.
Yeah, I look for, as you get a look at the backup goalkeeper, Benjamin Farrell, the senior, this is probably the time that, Franklin County is going to think, okay, well, their main keeper is out. It's time to start testing this guy. Because he's cold, he hasn't been playing the whole game. He did have that one big save. That's a fantastic through ball. Morin out and away. He's got something to run onto here. Turns the corner, plays it forward, just a little bit too much on it for Seth Baker to be able to turn into the goal. But those two have really been the two aggressors responsible for both of the goals. Almost got a third that time. Take a look at this. This is a fantastic play
and
by
I think
Tristan
they called
Morin.
offsides on him.
I did not see the flag, but yeah, I think you're right, because they are sending the ball back there. And we've got a foul right here in the middle of the park, and I believe we might see a yellow card here. Yes, that's going to be a yellow card for Adon Cruz, the senior midfielder for Great Crossing. Adon Cruz there, and he'll have to take a seat. And that's one thing I mentioned to David the other night, and I agree with it. We talked about it a little bit. The yellow card and having the yellow card earner go sit on the bench, I think is, number one, you are enacting some punishment for picking up a yellow card. Number two, I think it cools people off a little bit, which is necessary.
Here's the thing now, coach has got to get him under control, because
Craft plays one over the top. This is dangerous, and that time Farrell able to get to it, and I think we had an offside there anyway. Yep, okay. I got one right finally. Here's the bad thing. I can see the line judge from here, from where we're sitting, so it's not a matter of not being able to see the flag. I just never think to look for it. Craycraft going up against Caleb Barnes there, and Barnes with a nice ball coming onto it as Bell. He was trying to cut it back. That was really going to be his most likely path towards goal, but he knocks it out. That'll be a goal kick for Frankfort High. This is a nice job of defending here on a full sprint there. And that is Ashton Austin with a great bit of recovery running, making sure that wasn't a more dangerous situation for Frankfort High than it already was. Dawson Pearl kicking it high into the night sky here. And yeah, that one's gonna come back. Tristan Morin getting his legs tangled up with the defender. I don't think there's any intent in there, because Tristan Morin, all things considered, would rather not step on somebody's foot, but I think it's the right call. That is just cleared into the stands by James Cron, excuse me.
I'm not sure if Tracy didn't trip over his own feet there.
Yeah, I was looking away at the action. I didn't get a chance to look at the replay there, but that's an interesting one. Because really, that's a huge call because Morin was away on goal.
Ball hit out of bounds. Corner kick, Panthers.
We've got a corner kick for Frankfort High coming up here. Just a little bit under 20 minutes left in this one. Stepping up to take the corner kick again here is Tyler Miller. Putting his right foot behind it. Big collision there, both players down. I think they're gonna have to stop this one. Yes, they do. That was a huge collision, a nasty one. That looked painful for both guys, and I think both of them are just being kind of told to kind of stay down and give it a little bit of time for help to come out here, because that was a nasty looking collision. Looks like you might have had some heads there coming together. Yeah, ooh, that's bad. That is not what you like to see.
And Carter Gilbert
and
that's Frankfort High and Evan Purcell.
Yeah, and that's not what you like to, that's a part of the game that is dangerous, you know, just both players going for the same ball. They're both watching the ball, so they're not seeing each other. And we certainly hope they're both okay. They're going to come out and I'm sure go through the protocols that they go through, and that's such a move in the right direction that we do that now and that we don't take any chances, especially with head injuries.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen that the last couple of weeks on the NFL talk.
Yeah.
With everything that's been going on with Tua, and he has a helmet on.
Yeah.
This is head on head, bone on bone. We saw in the girls' game,
we're gonna take another look
two
at
knees go together. This is head versus head.
Yeah, that is. Oh. Just certainly hope both of those players are okay. We hope.
That's a rock in a hard place.
And he's. Well, I think he's just down getting some water.
I think so.
My first inclination when I saw that was to think that he passed out, but I think he's just trying to lessen the distance between himself and the water cooler there. So, but they did take him out. Ethan Purcell, the junior defender, and he was the one that actually got his head to that ball that put it into the path of Paul Redmond, who scored that goal against Western Hills.
And you see Carter Gilbert up and ready to come back in after that shot.
And no call there, and Great Crossing has a chance on goal here. Still at it right now, Lucas Smith carrying the ball. Gonna try to switch fields here, and Frankfort High doing a nice job that time to clear the initial danger. Ball gets back to Smith. He was looking to play a through ball, and now it comes back to Great Crossing. The chip shot really quick is off, and they called it offside. Let's take a look at it here and take a look at number 10 here, Caleb Barnes. They must have called, they may have called the offside before that, because to me that, you know, when we're looking at it kind of from the looking at the Great Crossing goal, might have not been the best angle to see an offside call, but to me it looked onside.
Yeah, I thought it was onside. I thought that you had a Frankfort High defender, almost like a safety in football there, playing it deep area.
Ball headed over into the baseball, or the softball diamond over there. Yeah, I think that's softball. I think the outfield's a little wide for baseball. Baseball. I think it might be a little bit too much. Paul Redmond almost has to give up there because Barber's the one that torched you earlier. So we get back into the action here really quickly, and Evan Purcell, who has come back into the game, I believe that was Evan Purcell. Yep, that's him. It's good to see he's back out there and feeling okay. Maybe just shaken up a little bit. as I'm sure a collision of the heads will do, but good to see he's not any worse in this one. You're down a goal. You've been the more aggressive, more threatening team, but you find yourself down on the scoreboard. Barber getting a foot to that, and it'll be a great crossing throw. Gonna get some substitutions in here, I believe. I think Ty Hancock's gonna go to the benches. For great crossing, we've got Thomas Smith coming in, junior midfielder. And it may be a situation where they're maybe bringing on some more defensive-minded players, trying to not necessarily park the bus, so to speak, but maybe be a little more solidified in defense, as that's a rip from the left part of the field. Nearly curled it in and also nearly got it into the path of Bryson Cox for Frankfort High. Let's take a look at this. Barber, I think you could tell he was, I mean, it was a good run by Cox there, but I feel like he was probably going for goal and almost got there. Here's Babay. Puts it forward. Babay scores with the right foot. Wonderful goal. Wonderful solo goal by Stephen Babay. His second goal of the tournament, and we are all tied up here in the 41st District tournament.
What a great take, one-on-one. Just gets control of it, beats his man, makes the turn, and opposite corner.
Look at this, 2-on-1. Sneaks through the defenders, threads the needle, and that's a fantastic finish. We're all tied up here, and Frankfort High fighting back, clearing off a 2-goal deficit here in the second half. So we've got a mid-air collision here right in front of the bleachers, as Cox and number 7 for great crossing, Wesley Holt, come together.
Yeah, Holt thought that ball was going to go higher up. Went up, kind of used the Frankfort player as leverage.
Colby Craycraft plays this one in. Great crossing, able to get their foot to it this time. But now Frankfort High has this tied up, and you have to think have all the momentum headed their way. And Craycraft's going to have to hustle, and Dawson Pearl doing a nice job of playing sweeper keeper right there. And now Frankfort High on the attack. Here's Barber on the left side. Plays it forward to Miller. Miller runs into a dead end, but the ball falls nicely, and that is a goal from way outside the box. Fantastic goal. And that is an amazing shot there by Alex Gonzalez, the junior, coming off the bench and scoring the go-ahead goal here and putting the Frankfort High Panthers on top. And that's got to be the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, just coming into the game just for a few minutes, and Frankfort High just throwing darts right now at the great crossing goal.
And you know what? Your mind goes back to that first goal, the one that Barber scored, and starting goalkeeper for great crossing, Zach Hendricks, injured himself on and was out of the game. You get into great crossing's backup keeper, Benjamin Farrell, who started off well when he came on, but they've tested him twice now and twice gotten their reward. 3-2, Frankfort High on top here in the 41st District Boys Soccer Championship. Now great crossing has some chasing to do. We haven't had to see them do that yet tonight. You know, we talked a little bit about would great crossings start to kind of pile guys back. Well, That ain't happening now. The complete opposite is going to happen. You got to send guys forward. You got to try anything to get into this. And Frankfort High, they think they can get another one here. They're rolling. As Gonzalez wants to get his brace here. That was such a fantastic goal. And really just kind of out of nowhere. It really took me by surprise.
You felt like that he was going to take a shot. But, I mean, when it left his foot, I mean, it went 0 to 60 in 1.2.
And you think coming off the bench, what was the message to anybody coming off the bench for Brad Kennedy now that they've got a backup keeper there? Test the keeper.
Yeah, absolutely.
This has been a really fun game, Chris.
Well, did you expect anything any different between these two teams?
Well, it's a really fun game because I'm sitting here next to you, number one.
Great.
That was what made me sure of this, and it's been a really fun, spirited game here. Nothing really getting out of hand so far, knock on wood. But, yeah, this is the perfect way to cap off this tournament so far. An exciting game. Frankfort High, the hosts, coming from behind here. 3-2 your score, and for Frankfort High, if they go on to win this, that's just such a great show of patience, because that's something that can happen in the game of soccer, especially above any other, that you're dominating play, you're dominating possession, but just a couple of unlucky bounces, and you find yourself behind on the scoreboard, and it can be so easy to just kind of lose your head, stop playing your game. To Frankfort High's credit, we haven't seen them do that. They've really stood up and been counted and really kept their composure well.
Well, in the last 20 minutes, especially with about 30 minutes to go, you felt like after Greg Carlson got that second goal, Frankfort High was pressing just a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like Frankfort High just really found another gear.
And then it all changed when Barber squeaked that one in. They were waiting for a call. It looked like everybody on the Great Crossing was waiting for that whistle to blow, and he snuck it in on a no call. I think it was the right call.
Yeah, and I think it was a call that was consistent with the way the game had been called the whole time, which is, I think as a coach, and I know talking to our broadcast partner, David Daly, as a former coach, he would describe that that's all he ever wanted was from an official, was for the calls to be even and for the players to kind of know what they're getting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because as a player, you can adapt to what you think the calls are going to be. You adapt your game to it.
Absolutely. And then we see
Carter Gilbert going up the hill to get a little extra momentum on this one.
Well, and you see that a lot here.
That's one of the unique things about this field. And that will be a goal kick. I thought it looked like a potential corner kick. We'll take another look at it here. It looked to me like maybe Bebe just kind of got his foot under it a little bit, gave the appearance of taking a little spin off of, and the official coming over here to talk to the Frankfort High faithful here. And I think just kind of making sure everybody's on the same page. Just
well, and that's Kobe Craycraft's dad, Bo. He's an official as well. I think he's probably just voicing a little opinion about the play.
I think he's voicing a little opinion, and I think the line judge may have not been the biggest fan of that opinion. But again, I think it's good officiating, going over there, just kind of squashing that before it becomes anything more. And you know, the officials, we have to give our hat off, take our hat off to the officials. Really couldn't do this without them, and it's not an easy job. Things happen so quickly, specifically in this sport. Everything happens so quickly. You've got one shot at it to call it. It's whatever your best judgment is. And I think by and large, all the officials that we've seen in this tournament have done a fantastic job.
Well, I don't care what sport it is, what level it is, being an official this day and time is one of the hardest jobs in athletics. because you're getting it from coaches, you're getting it from players, you're getting it from fans, and even more so, you're getting it from parents.
Yeah. And it's not only during the game, you hear it after the game, you hear all kinds of
social
things.
media, that people that know you. I mean, it's just, it's hard. And KHSA, is always looking for officials. If you think you can do a better job, go get certified and become an official.
Yeah. Doors open. Nobody's stopping you. There's the header in. Almost getting to it was Bebe that time again. Trying to score his second of the game. And not only 3 goals for Frankfort High, 3 fantastic goals. 3 goals would be on any highlight reel because Bebe's finish was fantastic. It was just a great heads-up finish along the goal line from Preston Barber to open it up. And then that screamer to be the 3rd goal there from Alex Gonzalez. And all scored within about a 15-20 minute span in the second half. Just can't give enough credit to Frankfort High for the fight they've shown here.
Yeah, because at the 29-minute mark, they were down 2-0. And then you felt like that they could get one at any time the way they had controlled the game. And then they got the one with Barber. But then those last 2 were within a minute and a half, 2 minutes of each other.
And that guy's run for the goal, Bebe, that was such a sight to behold. Just great strength, splitting the defenders and finishing with the right foot on the opposite side of the goal. Not over yet, though. Great crossing with the free kick in the middle of the park. Just lofting it up into the air. This one could go anywhere. Bell coming onto it, can't get his foot behind it. Frankfort High manages to clear it. Now great crossing, gonna have to really start to take some chances. And Bebe hitting the ground, and that is gonna be just outside the box. I think that's a pretty good call right there. The foul was committed. He kind of continued into the box, but that is the point of the initial foul.
Yeah, the momentum carried them into the box. I think that's right. I think the contact was made about right there,
Yeah,
and then
you can tell but fantastic job by Bebe to pressure both of those guys and get up and get his foot on the ball. He's been so good in the second half. Craycraft gonna come up to take the free kick. This is an interesting spot because you can whip one in. You've got so many tall, athletic players there on the far post right now. It looks like Seth Baker gets a yellow card, the captain, so he'll have to take a seat. A little bit of dissent there and a little bit of frustration, and a little bit, almost 5 minutes left here in this game, and this is an important kick here, and Baker's not going to be on the field for it, the senior defender. It's going to be Hancock to put this one in. Nice spot, nearly gets that to go under the bar. Hits a screamer from outside. Ty Hancock calling his own number there and nearly got his reward for it.
yeah, that was inches away from being another highlight goal.
Alex Gonzalez coming out of the game, or coming into the game rather, for Stefan Bebe. What an influence Alex Gonzalez has had on this game off the bench. Here's Gilbert. Got turned around by it, but recovered well. Craycraft. Lays it off for Barber. Playing it long. He's looking for, I believe it was Miller over on the right side. It's gonna be a free kick for Frankfort High.
And that 3-5-2,
Yeah.
Kennedy going to that coming out of the break really has changed the momentum of this game as well.
Yeah, that's a good point, Chris. Frankfort High has been in control, but I think they've also gotten a lot more clear-cut chances here in the second half. Hancock making a run towards goal. They're gonna loft it up and try to hit Hancock. He got to it, design play off the free kick, but that time the goalkeeper, Benjamin Farrell, able to get to it. Under 4 minutes now. Running onto this one is Gonzalez. He's going to run into Farrell, and Farrell doing a nice job there to sweep up the damage. Some good goalkeeping there. Putting his body at risk and keeping great crossing in this game. Frankfort High gets it back here. Barber plays it down the left channel to Alex Gonzalez. Tried to find Craycraft and having to concede the corner is Evan Purcell. Time running out on great crossing here.
So,
how huge would this be for Frankfort High to take the All-A Classic and then come to their home field and take the 41st District crown again?
Oh, it would be great momentum going into the 11th region, that's for sure.
The narrow corner kick taken, but Frankfort High still has it. Steering around defenders there was Miller. Ball squirts back out to Craycraft. This shot kicked out of the way by great crossing. Frankfort High up on the scoreboard, but they're really the ones that are attacking and pushing for another goal here.
Yeah, they're really no holds bar pursuit of another goal.
And I think that's where Frankfort High, a team like that, is the most comfortable. You know, a lot of teams, you know, in that position, they'll tend to play a little more pragmatically, put people behind the ball. But I think for a team like Frankfort High, that's what they want to do. That's where they feel the most comfortable. And I think you trust your team to be able to cover their lines, you know, mark their men, cover their areas, and be able to see this one out. They've almost done that. We're under 2 minutes now. Frankfort High has one hand on that 41st District trophy. Can they close the deal, or can Great Crossing take this one to extra time? They've done it before here on this field.
In this game. You know, what's huge for Frankfort High is if they're able to hold on to win this, is that means one of those district losers that plays on turf has got to come here and play a first-round game on natural grass.
Yeah, and this is such a great venue, and that's such a great advantage for Frankfort High. And, you know, you've mentioned it before, Frankfort High, the only one that plays on grass is their home field in this district, and I think you might be seeing a little bit of advantage of that playing out here as we've got a goal kick here. Frankfort High fans want a corner. Last chance saloon time for Great Crossing. They've got to do it now if they're going to do it. Headed high out by Frankfort High. They're happy to watch the time tick down. We've seen some last-minute heroics here on this field before in this tournament.
30 seconds remaining in the contest, folks. 30 seconds remaining.
Great Crossing trying anything just to get a foot on the ball to try to get it anywhere towards Frankfort High's goal. They've got some momentum here, headed towards goal. They've got to do it quickly. 15 seconds left. Frankfort High fans can feel it. They've got to throw in here. And that one's going to be Frankfort High's throw, and I think that's going to do it. Great Crossing not happy about that, but Frankfort High thrilled because they are going to win the 41st District Boys Soccer Championship after a fantastic comeback win in the second half, and the fans are crowding the field. Fantastic night to be a Panther fan. Frankfort High is your 41st District champion. We'll be back with highlights in just a minute here on the Cable 10 Game of the Week.
The Game of the Week Play of the Game is brought to you by Bill McCoy Insurance Agency, celebrating over 47 years in business. With over 15 companies to shop and collectively over 100 years of experience, call, visit us, or request quotes on BillMcCoyInsuranceAgency.com.
You look pretty busy, friend. Why try and manage that much insurance by yourself? A local Trusted Choice independent insurance agent can guide you through it. We'll help with the research, help determine your coverage needs at the right prices, assist with claims, and adapt to your family's needs as they change at no extra cost to you. So, we'll do your insurance. You just do you.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Expree Credit Union. Expree Credit Union wishes all of our local teams a great season. Score $5 for your school while showing your support with a spirited debit card, featuring your school's colors and mascot. Who will raise the most? Open an Expree Spirited account today and let the rivalry continue. Federally insured by NCUA.
Expree Credit Union wishes all our local teams a great season. Score $5 for the high school of your choice simply by opening a Spirited account featuring your school colors and mascot on your debit card. Show your support. Flyers, Panthers, or Wolverines. Who will raise the most? Go to Expree.org today. Choose wisely. Western Hills, Franklin County, Frankfort High. Let the rivalry continue. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Well, Chris, the big trophy is out on the field here, and the 41st District Boys Soccer Championship has come to a close. We managed to settle ourselves down. I sort of have my voice back. Frankfort High coming from behind, coming from 2 goals down with a fantastic heart-stopping comeback. 3-2 your score. We've got a lot to sift through here to get through this one. Let's start out with our play of the game, and that is the goal that once Frankfort High went down 2-0, Preston Barber managed to score. He just stayed with it, a little bit of a finesse chip shot, put some English behind it, and that not only got Frankfort High on the scoreboard, but also resulted in Zach Hendricks, the goalkeeper for Great Crossing, coming up injured. That was our Bill McCoy play of the game, and what a huge goal, Chris.
Yeah, it set the momentum, because at that point, Frankfort High is down 2-0. And they felt like they were pressing just a little bit offensively, taking some wild shots. But Barber able to squeeze that one in between the corner and the keeper. And then that set the tone for the rest of the half.
Yeah, I want to thank Bill McCoy Insurance for sponsoring the play of the game. And now it comes to our player of the game, courtesy of Expree Credit Union. And who else but the kid that put him ahead off of the bench? Big right-footed curler into the top right corner by Alex Gonzalez, the junior, off the bench is our Expree Credit Union player of the game. And that goal was the difference between these two teams and what was the matchup that we thought we were going to get tonight, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, Frankfort High controlled the game for the most part all night. Now, Great Crossing did a great job of getting some shots on goal, took some opportunities off of miscues, was able to squeeze in a couple of goals. But the last 29 minutes of this game, it was completely all Frankfort High.
Yeah. Chris, I want to thank you for pinch hitting tonight, and I want to thank David Daly. Sorry you couldn't be here tonight. We both hope you're mending well. So for my broadcast partner, Chris Cole, for both Sachs, Hubbard, and McDonald, for Crystal, David, Chris, Todd, Greg, and our fearless leader, David Columbia, I'm John Piesheimer. This has been a lot of fun, and we're so glad you could join us for our coverage of the 41st District Tournament here on the Cable 10 Game of the Week. Good night, folks.
School, Marlon Martinez, and Harry Baker. For a great crossing, Trey Redmond. Evan Purcell. And James Crum. Your all-district teams for Frankfort High School. First, Ty Hancock. Stephon Bebe. Preston Barber. And your all-district 41 MVP, Ashton Austin. One more big hand for all these student athletes for their hard work, folks. Well done, young men. And next, for your Region 11, District 41 runner-up, Great Crossing Warhawks. Big round of applause, folks, for your Great Crossing Warhawks. Well done, guys. And now for your Region 11 District 41 champions, and Brad Kennedy's 100th win, your Frankfort High School Panthers. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out tonight and supporting all of these student athletes. They could not do this without your parent support. Safe travels home.